What's up, guys? It's Lefty here with the Betting Network Early Market Report for Friday, May 7th. If you haven't watched the first market report video I did, you might want to go check that out first because I do cover some of the basics on how to analyze the market. I'll link that video in the top right corner. Also, we have various lessons in the Betting Network Discord community on how to interpret the market. If you want to check those out, the link to join will be in the description. It's 100% free. You can always hit me up with any questions because in these market report videos I'm going to do here, I'm just going to assume most people already have a general understanding on how to read the market. So if you don't already understand, the info is there for you. Of course, I'll do my best to explain as I go along in these videos, but I also don't want them to be 20 minutes long either. So let's get right into it. We got a full slate of games, it looks like. One afternoon game between the Pirates and Cubbies here. There's never a total with Cubs games early on, and that's because the weather plays such a major role. But yeah, you won't see any books with totals this early. I believe the weather is blowing in from left. I imagine this is going to be a total that opens around 7.5. Usually with any type of wind blowing in, it's going to be 7.5 or 8, but not really much to report with this one. The spread or the run line, you won't see books listed that either because it's so correlated to the total. But Pitt is getting 77% of the money, but I can't imagine too many people are going to be running to bet on Pitt, but who knows. Milwaukee, Miami here, lefty on lefty matchup. Back when I first started betting, there was like this trend, lefty on lefty matchups, you just bet the under. I don't remember how well it was, but it was just kind of like common, knowledge or, something like that everyone did. Lefty lefty matchups, you bet the under. Looks like Miami's getting some bets here, 66%. Money's around 60%. Not much line movement to follow it. There is action on the over, though. 81% of the bets on the over. Close to 70% of the money is on the over. And if we look here, Pinnacle opened 7, and they're down to 6.5. Juice to the over, but there's also a couple other books at 6.5. Circa in Vegas, they're kind of a sharp book. It's always good to pay attention to them. That's interesting there. 81% of the bets on the over, 68% of the money. Open 7, down to 6.5. So that's it's still early, but I mean, I guess you can call it a reverse line movement whenever there's bets and money on one side and the line moves the opposite way. I imagine sharps are getting on this under early, getting ahead of it, getting the 7. Arizona, New York Mets. Bets are kind of split in this one. Again, early over bets and money. And we have a total opening 7.5, and it's now down to 7. Looks like some more sharp money on the under there. Some books are still at 7.5 though, but Pinnacle's kind of a leading market indicator book. It's always good to kind of pay attention to what they're hanging for numbers there, but that's something I'll keep an eye on because we get the over bets, over money. Pinnacle opened 7.5 and now down to 7. That's interesting. What else looks good here? Colorado, St. Louis. St. Louis, they're a minus 200 favorite, and when you get in that range of big favorites, you want to start considering the run line or the spread data, just because more people are going to be betting the run line rather than the laying 200 to win 100. So it looks like it's all St. Louis money and bets, but line hasn't really budged yet. I kind of like this lefty Gomer here, but he's burnt me this year already. But yeah, I'm going to be keeping an eye on that one, especially where St. Louis is just going to get it flooded with bets and money, and I like fading the public there. What else we got? Minnesota, Detroit. We got a full line of data here. Yeah, Minnesota. This is another game that Minnesota will get one-way action just because nobody's back in Detroit. I'll be interested to see how high this line climbs. Whenever you're betting, like say if you're eyeing Detroit, they're obviously a bad team, but unpopular. No one's really rushing to bet Detroit. You don't want to rush to bet them if you do want to bet them. You want to kind of wait, to see how high the line gets. Minnesota will get one-sided action. There's no question, but it's how much the odds makers will adjust here. They're at around 145 now. So rather than jumping and taking, plus 125, you can probably end up getting 140 or 150, and, every cent counts in this, So always wait on those, ugly dogs to bet them. What else we got here? Tampa Bay, Oakland. This is an interesting one. Tampa's undecided, but I believe Rich Hill's going for them. I'm pretty sure I saw Rich Hill is going to be the starter in this one. Oakland's getting bets and money at home here, but Pinnacle opened 138. Looks like the line is now down to 130, 135. Actually, Chris opened 150 and it's down to 135. Tampa Bay is definitely getting some early respected bets. So that's something to keep an eye on there. I kind of like Tampa Bay in that one. What's important to remember with these videos here, it's just helpful to monitor the market early. You don't want to jump on anything definitive or come to like a definitive conclusion with this early market report. The data is just based on such small amounts. So the way I like to look at it is you want to get the full story from opening line to closing. And, a lot of times what we can see later in the day will make more sense because of something we noticed earlier in the day. So in other words, like this early market report is more for getting a head start and what to look for rather than finding games to bet right now, if that makes sense. It's almost like game planning your attack for the day. That's how I look at it. But I'm going to stop here for now. Hopefully this was somewhat helpful. Until next time, you can find me in the Betting Network Discord community. Hope you guys find some winners today. And as always, may all the umps calls go your way.